Alright, hello everyone and welcome to episode 32 of Zero to Hero, and we're going to be kicking things off with a Asian Champions League match against Morat Yadi, who I think are Al Ittihad, a Saudi Arabian team, but they're just obviously not licensed even with the patch that I've got going on. It only took 9 minutes for the deadlock to be broken, and it was very poor goalkeeping from our goalkeeper as the header looped over him and into the back of the net. 4 minutes later, I had a chance to equalise. I really should have scored from this kind of scenario, this kind of situation, but I didn't. But, you know, we kept going. Cross out wide into the box from myself. Yuma Suzuki heads just over the bar. 68th minute, we get a free kick, and bada bing, bada boom. Hirato stood up and made it count as he smashed it into the goalkeeper's top left-hand corner, which of course meant that it was even Steven yet again at 1-1. Now, so far this season, we've had a bit of a poor history of conceding late goals, and Al Ittihad in this case are probably second favourites for topping this group behind ourselves. So obviously we needed to make sure we didn't concede a late goal, but as you can see, Saifullah scored and decided to celebrate with his fans. So I'd already been substituted off. I'm looking at what's going on the pitch off the bench. I feel absolutely gutted. I can't quite believe what I'm seeing. We had pretty much one last chance to attack. Abe, who had been subbed on though, had other ideas. A lovely turn from him. Defenders should have really closed him down, and as soon as he can turn in the box on his favoured left foot like that, it was a good assist as well from the player who came on for me. It's good to know that we have that kind of squad depth when I'm not carrying the team. And it meant that we had to walk away with just a point. 6.5 rating for me, not the best. Doesn't really usually meet my standards, that. But halfway through the group, we are second behind Al Ittihad, with Al Gharafa in third place. So obviously, we still need to play each team in the group again at least once more. So it's still early days, really, because whilst Zub Ahan are pretty much getting lost at the bottom of the group, any of the top three in our group could still obviously end up finishing in the top two spots to qualify. And I'll tell you what, we probably will qualify if I keep scoring goals like this. 32 minutes in. I do well, if you watch on the replay, to win the header. It's kind of proof that a lot of the physical training that I said I'd start doing in a couple of the early episodes ever since joining Kashima Antlers is paying off. I'm so much better in the air now, so much stronger, getting pushed off the ball a lot less. Might maybe try and transition back towards playing as a central midfielder if I feel the need to. And it was a great pass from Yuma Suzuki as well to help me score 1-0. 80th minute, they get the ball out wide. To be fair, they were coming at us with these crosses left, right and centre, thick and fast. And eventually, you know, if you keep knocking on the door, someone will eventually open. And yeah, the door was open for Ando. Now, we're obviously competing to try and win the league, so we need to try and basically win every match, especially our home matches. So 1-1 against a team like Cerezo Osaka would be far from ideal, but fortunately we got yet another late goal, and Yuma in this case decided to celebrate with our own fans. So yeah, we did end up winning this match 2-1. It was another header there, won by myself. Second ball won by, I think it was Leandro, who played in Yuma Suzuki, and Yuma Suzuki 92nd minute winner, and it resulted in a 9.0 rating for myself. But of course, because Suzuki's the bloke that's scoring, yeah, he's the one that's going to get man of the match. Apparently I got injured. I mean, I don't think I got injured. I finished that last game fine, but fortunately we did beat Vissel Kobe, and that was good because, as you can see, Vissel Kobe currently top of the table. I've got 3 goals and 5 assists so far this season, and I am yet again in the team of the month, which means since the start of this new season, I've been in the team of the month for January, February and March, which is pretty impressive. And now here we go. So, if you caught the last episode, you'll have found out, obviously, that Gareth Southgate, Sir Gareth Southgate, as I think he's called nowadays. Yep, God save the Queen and all that. It's quite funny, actually, because, obviously, England sang God Save the Queen. And then Northern Ireland also sang God Save the Queen. So it was kind of funny how the same national anthem got repeated. But yeah, I think you know, national anthems and all that, the BBC Sports, I think like it just goes to show how awesome Pro Evo can be when you patch it, and it's just a shame that it can't be like that out of the box. Yeah, I got given the number 7 shirt as an England player. I got called up, but obviously I started on the bench. And it's funny that I can get an England call-up, but not a transfer away from Japan. So make of that what you will. We went 1-0 down within 10 minutes. Typical England. Smith made it 1-0. And then I was subbed on as a defensive midfielder at half-time in place of Ross Barkley. But I do have somewhat more of a license to get forwards, especially when we're trailing behind. And that was when Mason Mount, I think he's currently playing for Chelsea in our little virtual world. Obviously, in the real world, on loan at Derby from Chelsea. Be interesting to see if Lampard gets the Chelsea job and then ends up keeping Mason Mount. Lovely finesse finish from him. So, yeah, we made it 1-1. Northern Ireland kicked off, and within minutes, through ball to that same danger man again, Smith, and yeah, Jordan Pickford was beat, and suddenly we found ourselves 2-1 down. So, typical England. Yeah, annoying without a shadow of a doubt. 76 minutes, I decided to take a pop from distance. I probably should have played it to Harry Kane, and then, yeah, kind of frustrated there at the end. Take a shot. I am a little bit out of my depth here, I'm not going to lie, but it can only do me good, you know, to be playing with players of this caliber. So 6.5 rating for myself. We lost 2-1 against Northern Ireland in a World Cup qualifier. I know it says European qualifiers, but it's actually a World Cup qualifier, I think. We'll find out anyways. Yeah, we had an even more difficult game against Serbia. I got subbed on at half-time as a left midfielder this time. I play Barkley through here as he makes a run forward. He takes a shot from distance, but it's saved by the Serbian giant between the sticks. But as you can see, I am linking up quite well with some of the lads. So even though my rating is a little bit less than they are, you know, I still think my quality is shining through. And hopefully we can maybe reach that point where we start games for England. 89th minute, it's obviously 0-0. I want to try and break the deadlock. Give the ball to Harry Kane. He has to shoot from a distance. We're playing quite deep, unfortunately. Not too sure about this system. But as you've seen me do a lot in Japan, I am quick to pounce on loose balls. And I intercept the Serbian pass out the back. Ball played into me. Played into Harry Kane. And bada bing, bada boom. Harry Kane. Sir Harry Kane, I think he's been given a knighthood nowadays, makes it 1-0 to give us all 3 points at home at Wembley against the Serbians. Apologies about the dodgy celebration, but it's obviously we're playing at Wembley. It's a custom stadium, and it's got a bit of a bug in it where if the players try and run towards a crowd, that happens. Yeah, seems like I'm good mates with Joe Gomez already, and yeah, I mean, it's kind of surreal, really. I got man of the match as well, even though I was only playing for 45 minutes. It's kind of surreal how, like, you know, we were struggling to get a transfer away from V-Varen Nagasaki 6 months ago, and now I'm suddenly playing for England in a World Cup qualifier, and I've just got my first assist to Harry Kane for England and man of the match performance at Wembley, which is pretty mad. Anyway, I want to say anyways and anyhow, both at the same time. Another assist for myself. I came back from England buzzing, and I found the run of Hirato. Tricky footwork from me, a wonderful pass, and a great goal. And a win, obviously, against Al Ittihad in this scenario would be great for us because they are top of our Asian Champions League group. So yeah, we're 1-0 up. 28 minutes, ball out wide. I do my signature front post run. It's early in the morning, guys. I'm messing up my words. And I get another goal. I add another goal to my tally for this season. So yeah, I think already we're starting to see how playing with better players is helping me grow as a player. It's helping me further my career versus, you know, the constant carrying we were doing at V-Varen Nagasaki. Very unlucky there, Yuma Suzuki. Very nice turn from him. Good save from the goalkeeper. Should have probably scored. And unfortunately, when you don't take your chances, a team of Al Ittihad's quality is eventually going to score, and they did. Ball was picked up by El Khaibari, the goal scorer, in the 78th minute. And yeah, we needed to try and hold on for the next 10-15 minutes or so. And with the Kashima Antlers, it's always a lot to ask for. Header at the front post. No, not by an Al Ittihad player, but by our own centre-back. I know he was trying to clear the ball away, but if you look at this here, I'm not really quite sure what he was trying to do. I mean, it would have been a lovely header if it was at the other end of the pitch. But there you go. So I got man of the match, but, you know, I didn't want to celebrate man of the match because it still felt disappointing because we were 2-0 up and then threw it away. Anyways, back to the Japanese league where we're gunning to try to aim to win the goddamn thing. It'd be great, you know, if we could win the Japanese league and then I could leave in the summer or in the winter in this case, since the Japanese season finishes in the winter. See if I can then get a transfer to England or somewhere, because it seems pretty mental, right? Like, you need to try and put yourself... I know I'm ignoring a lot of the highlights right now as I'm having a bit of a rant, but, you know, I'm sure you guys are fine with it. You've got to try and put it into context of real life. This 19-year-old wonder kid who is English that no one back home has really heard of, and apparently has been a hidden gem in the Japanese league for so long, suddenly gets an England call-up, suddenly he's coming off the bench for England, suddenly he's playing really well, is able to assist Harry Kane and so on. You'd think that someone outside of Japan would be willing to bite. You know what I mean? So I'm not quite sure what's going on behind the scenes in PES, but I'm hoping as we develop, we will eventually get a transfer away from Japan. But yeah, my main goal at the moment is to try and win the Japanese league, and if it doesn't happen, then we move away anyways. You know, the Japanese league or Asian Champions League isn't the be-all and end-all of everything. Second assist there of the match for myself, so of course I assisted the first goal where Abe headed home, and I've assisted this second one where Yuma Suzuki has headed home. It was a nice floated cross, but again, it was another draw, and draws aren't going to win you league titles. So, you know, we had to go again. There's teams around us. There's Kashiwa Reysol, there's Vissel Kobe. They, on paper, are eventually going to have to slip up as well. All we can do is there's no point looking at the past because you can't change the past. So 7 minutes in, give and go between myself and the midfielder. Good cross from me towards Yuma Suzuki. I thought he was going to header it first time, but he decided not to, and he managed to volley it in the back of the net in the end. So another assist for yours truly. I think that brings my assist tally of the season to about 8, 9 or 10. 46 minutes. Play the ball out wide, ball whipped into the box, and it's Yuma Suzuki again. And it just goes to show that when Yuma Suzuki is on fire, as a team, everything becomes so much easier for us. Yeah, he is really our star player. And yeah, it was more of an assist of the assist for myself because I obviously played the ball out wide to our right back, who has the second most assists for us in the team. So me and him down that right hand side are pretty much providing most of the ammunition for Yuma Suzuki. But yeah, we're currently second in the league, 2 points behind Kashiwa Reysol. Not too worried so far because there's a lot of football to be played. Asian Champions League yet again up against Zob Ahan, bottom of our Champions League group. Really a game we should be looking to win, and a win would, I believe, mean we're just basically a point or so away from qualification depending on other results. So 25 minutes in, I make a front post run. It wasn't actually an assist. If you see the replay, I actually decided to take the shot rather than pass it sideways to Yuma Suzuki, and it got blocked off the Zob Ahan defender and fell to Yuma Suzuki. But you don't really care how they go in, as long as they do go in the end. 48th minute, I was pretty much taking the Zob Ahan right back for a field day all day long. I cut inside, left-footed shot, but yeah, I was unlucky not to score. It was a good save from the goalkeeper. Apologies about the cursor. Obviously, it's a bug. There's not much I can do about it. If you've not noticed it, I've probably made you notice it now, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, 63rd minute, very fortunate here not to concede. It just about skimmed the top left of our goalkeeper's bar. Yuma Suzuki there on the volley. Maybe should have at least hit the target from that kind of range. 78th minute. Boom. Easy shot, easy goal, and a 2-0 lead for us. And yeah, assists galore for me at the moment. Goals galore for me at the moment, be it in an England shirt or in a Kashima Antlers shirt. And what's even more fascinating is after, you know, regardless of how well I'm playing, I've not quite experienced another breakthrough yet. So if you don't know what breakthroughs are, they're like random periods where your attributes or your stats in PES just increase really quickly over the period of like a month or two when you're playing really well. And it would be great if I could have one of them because it would boost my my overall rating from like a 62 all the way up to a 65 in a matter of a couple of months, which would be great for me in terms of being able to play with myself. That sounds really bad, but I mean play with my virtual self, obviously. Because obviously I'd be a better player, it'd be easier for me, and so on. But yeah, you get where I'm coming from anyways. Nakamura scores. We're up against Vijalta Sendai, and it was a good long ball over the top for Nakamura to make it 1-0. I said that the right back is one of our main assisters, and it was the lad that popped up again with the assist. So it's good to have ammunition coming from somewhere else. Header just wide from the Vijalta Sendai striker. I think it's called Richardson or something like that. Good pass from me through the half spaces. Really should have finished our striker there, and then Yuma Suzuki puts it wide. So not once, two opportunities followed by my own opportunity. All these chances were going begging, and it just kind of felt like, oh my god, if we don't take one of these chances and make it 2-0, Vijalta Sendai in the second half are bound to have an opportunity themselves where they'll probably grab a goal. And it was Rafaelson, and I'm saying Richardson. Rafaelson's the man I'm on about. He did eventually take one of the limited chances that he was being given, which meant that we had another uphill struggle to climb. 60th minute, ball whipped into the box, and Yuma Suzuki somehow found the back of the net from it. A lot of the goals that you've seen so far look quite easy, look quite straightforward. It just seems like I'm always getting the ball out wide and just whipping the ball into the box. But there's a lot of crosses, a lot of opportunities you guys don't see off camera, and usually it's not quite this simple, which is why I mentioned the importance of me being in good form and Yuma Suzuki being in good form. But that win, fortunately, not only resulted in a 9.0 rating for yours truly, but it left us first in the league on 23 points. But obviously it's still very, very, very close between anyone really in the top 10. And so far this season, I have 5 goals and 10 assists with an average rating of 8.1. So that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're also in Team of the Month for April. Surely, come the end of the season, I'm going to be on the shortlist for Asian Player of the Year, you'd think. But you know what? I don't really care, because my main goal at the moment is just to win the Japanese League with my team. So, yeah, thanks for watching.